Am I overreacting is a good question. I'm your host, Height. Here are my suggestions. Our first one is from Sweet Apple. My birthday got turned into someone else's engagement party. Am I overreacting for being annoyed? I threw a little birthday dinner for myself last weekend. Nothing crazy, just a cute night out at this nice restaurant with like 12 to 15 people I'm close to. I don't usually make a big deal out of my birthday, so this one felt kind of special. Anyway, a few days before the dinner, this guy friend of mine, let's call him Jake, 20 male, hits me up and goes, "Hey, do you mind if I propose to my girlfriend at your birthday thing?" And I'm like, honestly, I'd rather you didn't. I was super polite about it. I told him I was really happy for them and I get it's a big deal, but like, I just wanted one night where the focus wasn't on someone else. He seemed a little bummed, but said he understood. Cool. End of story, right? Nope. Fast forward to the actual dinner, things are going great. Everyone's vibing. I'm finally enjoying my moment. And then Jake stands up, clinks his glass, and starts giving a speech. At first, I thought maybe he was about to say something nice about me. Like, happy birthday or something. But nope, this man legit turns to his girlfriend, drops to one knee, and proposes. Right there at my dinner. She says yes. Everyone starts clapping and cheering, and just like that, my birthday dinner becomes their engagement party. I was honestly in shock. I didn't want to be that girl that caused drama, so I just smiled and clapped along. But inside, I was pissed. Later, I pulled Jake aside and was like, "Dude, why would you do that when I literally asked you not to?" And he goes, "Come on, you knew I had to. It was the perfect moment. You're not mad, right?" I told him I felt super disrespected, and he straight up told me I was being selfish because an engagement is more important than a birthday. Bro, what? Now a couple of our mutuals are saying I should just be happy for them and stop making it a thing, but I can't help but feel like they totally hijacked my night. First of all, OP's definitely not overreacting. That was their birthday dinner that was effectively hijacked. Secondly, I don't understand how an engagement is more important than a birthday, because engagements can be called off at any time. Honestly, if I was in the OP's shoes, I'd be pissed off too. This next one is by Johnny Colt. Am I overreacting for refusing to my sister's rebirth party? So my sister's always been into weird stuff. Crystals, astrology, raw milk. But last year, she took some kind of hallucinogenic frog venom at Burning Man, had a full breakdown, and came back calling herself Obsidian Womb Fox. That's not a joke. She legally changed it from Lindsay. Her email signature even says Born Again, now with more ancestral knowledge. Anyway, she recently sent out wax-sealed invitations for her rebirth party, an event she's hosting in our parents' backyard to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of her ego death. The invite was wild. It asked guests to dress in uterine tones, said the party would begin at sunrise or when the hawk signals, and promised a journey through the sacred canal of transformation. I didn't know what any of that meant, but I figured, hey, it's just one more morning. Maybe there's a mimosa or something. Then my cousin sent me the full itinerary she got through a private group chat. I was left out because I made a placenta joke once and got the boot. Apparently, the main event involves my sister being reborn from a papier-mâché uterus, while a fully grown man named Curtis, who she found on Craigslist, pretends to be her womb. Like, she's literally crawling out of him while he moans and plays a Tibetan singing bowl. The finale includes her cutting a red ribbon umbilical cord, screaming, "I am rewoven!" and then doing a primal dance in a giant inflatable kiddie pool full of coconut oil. I told her I wasn't going. I was respectful about it, just said, "Hey, I love you, but I'm not comfortable watching you get fake birthed by a guy in a spandex bodysuit." She flipped, said I was refusing to support her second becoming, that I still see her as a linear being, and that I'm chained to the masculine lie of the Gregorian calendar. Now my mom's upset, my aunt said I'm being closed-minded, and my uncle is going only because there's going to be a taco truck, and apparently you get free lapis lazuli bracelet with every birthing. So Reddit, am I just overreacting because I'm not wanting to attend my adult sister's backyard rebirth where a Craigslist guy acts as her womb? I gotta admit, this shit's fucking out there. Like, I feel like the sister's overreacting by blowing up because OP doesn't want to attend. And our final one is from Kahoot God. Am I overreacting for being shocked when a boat party host asked me to pay for food, drinks, and boat fuel afterwards? My friend, let's call him Jake, invited me to a party on his friend's boat. I'd never met the guy before, but from what I do know about him, he's wealthy. Surgeon. I figured it'd be a cool experience, so I said yes. The boat was actually really nice. There were beers, seltzers, and some mid-shelf liquor. The host had ordered trays of food, wings, sliders, fruit, etc., and even brought out a jet ski at one point. Kinda made me feel like shit about myself, how nice this dude had it. Anyways, it was a great day. We were out for like 4 to 5 hours. I had a few drinks, ate some food, relaxed, met people. Everything seemed super casual, until we got back to the dock. That's when the host goes, "Hey, if everyone could just Venmo me $40 for food, $35 for drinks, $50 for gas, and $10 for the jet ski, that'd be awesome." I thought he was joking, but everyone pulled out their phones like this was to be expected. I pulled Jake aside and asked him what the fuck was going on, and he goes, "I should have mentioned it, my bad." Like, no shit? It's not even just the money though, it's the way it was handled. It would have been fine if I was told in advance, but springing it on people after the fun's been had is sleazy as fuck, especially for this literal surgeon who owns a boat. If I'd have known this was basically a $150 group outing, I wouldn't have come. I had like $100 to last me the rest of the weekend. I'm in college, don't judge. Now I feel I'm stuck. Either I don't pay and look like a leech, or I send what I can and still come off weird. It's been a day now, and the host is texting Jake when I'm going to pay. The way I've always understood inviting, if you invite somebody, you're inviting them. Therefore, they shouldn't have to pay you anything because you invited them. It would be different if they invited themselves, but OP clearly didn't do that. To try to spring asking for money after the fact, that's just a dick move. So no, OP's definitely not overreacting. Alright, that's enough stories for the day. Well, that wraps up this episode of Am I Overreacting? If you liked the video, please drop a like, share my content on all of your social media, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell so you're notified every time I upload, and drop a comment down below. It really helps with the algorithm and helps new people find my channel. Thanks for watching, thanks to my patrons and super thanks contributors. Have a great day and stay safe out there.